2024 was a big year for Beyblade. We got our first left spinning X Beyblade, Hasbro started releasing Beyblade X in America, and Season 1 of the Beyblade X anime ended. Not only that, the competitive Beyblade scene boomed, with tournaments being run all over the world. So with all this happening, I decided I would bite the bullet and buy every Beyblade product released in 2024 to unbox and review for you guys. So you guys know what Beyblades to buy and which ones you might want to skip out on. I'll be going over my own opinions, but also the competitiveness of every Beyblade combo. I contacted high-ranked bladers in my area to help me with this to make sure my suggestions are accurate. Also, before we start, I was able to contact Base and Bricks and get them to sponsor this video. They sent me all the Beyblades I'll be unboxing, and they're a pretty good Beyblade site. I'll have their link for their store in the description of this video, and if you use code LeftBurst at checkout, you'll get 8% off your first order. And with that, let's start with our first Beyblade. Starting it off with BX20. What was that?
That was Grand Sword, or Grand Buster.
Starting off with BX26, here we have Unicorn Sting. Oh man, I actually really like
I think
this
Unicorn
Beyblade.
Sting's a good Beyblade too.
Unicorn Sting is one of my favorite X Beyblades, especially released this year.
That's
Here
a clean
is,
pair.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's so
Here
clean.
is the blade. Unicorn Sting. What I really like about it is it's actually really good at stamina because it's so round, and it also has one smooth edge and one jagged edge. The jagged edge is actually pretty good because when reversing other stamina Beyblades, it can cause some recoil so you can get them off balance. So the Unicorn Sting blade is actually pretty competitive. There are some blades that are better than it, but at times it's really good at destabilizing high level stamina combos.
I agree. What he said.
Next it comes with 560. 560 is, I mean, this is a pretty good ratchet. The lower ratchets are usually better, and it comes with a really awesome color. And then finally, we have the bit. This is Gear Point. Gear Point is probably the best gear bit there is. But all gear bits are kind of booty. Just use the normal bits instead. But yeah, overall, this Beyblade's beautiful. It performs really well in the stadium. And yeah, Jake, what do you think? What do you think about it?
I think like just as a stock combo, because that's all I play as, is just stock combo wise. I think it does okay. Like I feel like it wins most of its battles, but there's times where you can beat it. There are bays better than it, but I would say it beats a majority of the bays.
Yes.
Like more than 50% of them lose to it.
So guys, in this video, you're gonna see my side. I'm gonna give the more competitive angle. And
I'm gonna give the more
Jake's
practical
side.
angle. We'll call it the street angle.
No, he's a casual blader. He's a casual
street
blader.
side. I'm giving you the real angle. Like if you were to go to like like a late night bar and bring Beyblades to a tournament,
Okay.
that's what angle I'm coming from.
Anyway, Unicorn Sting. I think it's a really solid Beyblade. Honestly, fairly competitive, but it's probably not the best Beyblade in the world. Like, I probably wouldn't bring its stock combo to a tournament, but overall, really good Beyblade. I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 10. I think this is definitely worth the price. It's a pretty cheap Beyblade as well, because it's just a booster.
Yeah, I agree. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
It's solid, but it's not the best.
Yeah, okay, let's move on to the next one.
I know I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, alright, Beyblade number... What? Don't rip into it already! He's already... You can't trust this man with anything. He gets the
Why do you wanna
Beyblade
look at the box?
and immediately...
Who looks at the box anyway? Beyblades are meant to be smashed together.
Anyway, this is BX27 Sphinx Cow. This is the random select. I guess we'll just rip the box open.
Why not? It's a box. Bro.
Anyway, so you guys know random selects are basically random boosters, except you have only a 1 out of 3 chance, which is pretty good. Actually, that's a pretty good odds to pull the prize Beyblade Sphinx Cow. And every Beyblade in the set is Sphinx Cow. And which one do we get?
They all have different combos.
They have different combos, and this time we got the black Sphinx Cowl. Now,
So are we gonna rate it off its original combo?
yeah, I'll rate it off its original combo, but the Sphinx Cow layer, or the Sphinx Cow blade, is actually not that great. Like, look at this. What kind of shape is this? Like, this isn't a circle, this isn't an octagon, this is like they literally just like drew some scribbles and then turned it into a Beyblade. The shape is very recoily, it's round, it just doesn't really do anything that well. It's not that good of a Beyblade, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The normal combo, I think, on Sphinx Cow is 980 gear needle. 980 is probably the best 80 height ratchet. It's really good, so that's a pretty solid thing for Sphinx Cow. But the gear needle it's really not that good either. It's
I would never choose Sphinx Cow.
You know, all needle bits, the problem with all needle bits is they get destabilized really easily. So the second they tilt over, they fall over and you lose all of your stamina. This guy's honestly like a 3 out of 10. It's really not that great of a Beyblade. I probably don't recommend buying this.
That's a high rating for me. I would give it a 2 out of 10. Just
2 out of 10?
I can think of one Bey that's worse, but really after that, I can't think of another.
What is a Beyblade that's worse?
Well, Rhino's worse.
Rhino's worse.
Rhino's worse.
Rhino's pretty bad. All right.
But like, I can't think, besides like the plastic Gen X Bays, I can't think of another that's that bad.
All right, let's move on.
Well, you're not skilled as me.
I'm not as skilled as you. Anyway, so next up, we have the first ever UX Beyblade. So all the other Beyblades we unboxed before this were all BX. This is the first UX. The only difference between UX and BX is that UX doesn't have metal in the center, so that actually gives it a little less rotational inertia, which makes it spin longer.
This is my favorite Beyblade to release of all time of any series.
Dran Buster?
Dran Buster is my favorite Beyblade. I love giant swords, I love dragons, and X is my favorite series of Beyblade, so all three combined make my favorite Beyblade.
Well, you guys heard it. I think I know Jake's score for this Beyblade.
No, I'm gonna be realistic here. I'm not gonna just take that bias and apply it to how good it is.
All right, let's open this guy up. I actually also really like Dran Buster. This thing is an absolute monster in the stadium for the first 3 seconds, and then after 3 seconds it can't spin.
You didn't have me in the first half, but then you had me.
Okay, Dran Buster, it's actually a fairly competitive Beyblade because at the beginning of battle, it hits extremely hard. You get a hard hit with Dran Buster, there's no Beyblade that's gonna be able to defeat it.
But you only get one hard hit.
You only get one hard hit.
Attempt.
That's the problem. Because of its shape, you can tell it's extremely off balance. After that 3-second period, it loses all of its stamina and you
But if you can get that hit off in the right spot, it's definitely worth it.
It's definitely worth it. And because of that fact, people actually use this in competitive combos because it can beat like combos that are very consistent. We have the ratchet. This is 160. 160 is actually a very interesting ratchet because it is a little off balance. As you see, it has 1 point right here. So if you have any combo that's slightly off balance at a certain point, you can kind of use 160 to kind of even it out. Or if you want it to be even more off balance to get even like crazier attacks, you put it in the same direction, makes it even more off balance. It's really good on attack combos. And then finally, we have the bits. So this is the Excel bit. This is honestly a worse version of flat, just because it has more gears on the bit, which actually kind of slows the Beyblade down, so it doesn't do that many extreme dashes.
I wouldn't choose this bit ever if I was making my own combo.
It is kind of a fun bit to use. It's not terrible, but compared to the other attack type bits that we have, yeah, this is probably not that great. But overall, Dran Buster, the blade is really good, the ratchet is pretty solid, and the bit, although not amazing, it's still workable, it's still doable. So I think this Beyblade is really fun to use, and it does have some competitive use. So honestly, I think Dran Buster's probably like a solid, like, what would we give Unicorn Sing a 7?
Yeah.
This one's probably like a 6.5, maybe even a 7. I really like this Beyblade.
I'll give it a 7. I think you get a lot of good parts out of this one.
I think you get a lot of good parts.
And you get a launcher.
And it's really fun to use for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's really fun to use. It makes sense. Think of a giant sword. If you miss your swing, that's it.
You're dead.
Cooked. You're cooked. Someone's gonna slice your head right off.
All right, anyway, we're gonna give this guy I'll say a 7. We're gonna give Dran Buster a 7. Let's move on to the next one. Whoa! Anyway, next up we have UX2, the second UX Beyblade. Here is Hell's Hammer, owned by Bird, who I think has won 1 battle in 2 years of the Beyblade X anime premiering.
It's more than you've won.
True. Anyway, let's open this guy up. This Beyblade is also like Dran Buster. It does come with a launcher. This time it's red. First off, we have the blade. Here is Hell's Hammer. This is a really cool blade. It's a balance type blade, but it's kind of shaped like an attack type, but with rounded edges. So
it's really unique.
Yeah, it's like, so it's an attack shape, but it has rounder edges, so it has like some defense and stamina. That's why it's a balanced blade. Although because of that, it really doesn't do anything wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like the all-arounder, you know?
Yeah,
it's good at everything, but excels at nothing.
Yeah, so really there's always a better option when you're doing combos unless you want to make a balance type bay. And honestly, most people don't make balance type combos.
Balance type bays are not
They're usually not that competitive because it's like you can't can't excel at one certain thing. But what's really cool about this is you can actually launch it with the left spin launcher. So it can spin left and right unintentionally.
You can launch any Beyblade with the left spin launcher with the right finesse.
That's true. If you have your hand under the Beyblade when you launch it, you can. But this guy, you don't even need to do that. It just attaches to the left spin launcher.
Which is not intentional.
It's not intentional, but that's just how it works. It's cool. It's really cool. Anyway, the ratchet, this is 370.
And it is a beauty.
It is a beauty. I really like the colors of this ratchet, and not only that, it's pretty good competitively. The 3 ratchets are pretty good just because they're fairly round compared to the other ones. And although I will say 360 is probably better because it's lower, 370 is not bad. So if you're already running a 360 in your deck, you can run a 370 as well, and it's a pretty good ratchet. The final part, here we have the bit. This is the Hexa bit. Now, this bit is really good.
It's good, but it looks so awkward.
It looks really awkward, but it is probably the best defense bit in all of Beyblade X at this point. For the main reason, it's the only stationary bit with this band. So it has a burst stopper band. No other stationary bit in all of Beyblade X has that band besides Hexa. So because of that, it gives a bunch of burst resistance. So if you're trying to beat an attack combo, definitely use the Hexa bit. At this point of recording this video, it has no equal. I have to give this Beyblade a fairly high rating. It's pretty fun because you can use it left and right spin. It has a pretty decent ratchet. You can pop that on any combo, and it has the best defense bit in the game. I'm gonna have to give this. And it comes with a launcher. And it comes with a launcher. And it comes with a launcher.
I'll give it the same as Drain Buster, a 7 out of 10. Because it's not good on its own, but they both contain good parts you can use for combos.
I think this is... Would I buy this Beyblade? If I could buy one Beyblade, would I buy this Beyblade? Probably not. But if I was trying to be competitive and I already had some Beyblades, some parts that I already had, I might buy this combo just for the Hexa bit. The Hexa bit's really good. So yeah, I'm also gonna give it a 7.
Then we're doing the 7 curse.
The 7 curse.
The 7 curse. Everything is a 7.
Don't worry, guys. The next Beyblade is not gonna be a 7 because the next one I have it right here.
That is no 7.
Wizard Rod.
That is no 7.
This is no 7. And let me just show you guys why. Okay, guys, I have to stand for this one. This one's crazy.
You stand for almost all of them.
That's true. Here is Wizard Rod. So the reason why this Beyblade is so outstandingly good, if you look at the shape, it is a complete circle. It's deflecting attacks like crazy, so it has really good defense. Not only that, it's one of the heaviest blades, and it also has all of its weight towards the outside, which gives it really good rotational inertia, which basically means that it spins for a really long time. This Beyblade spins longer than any other Beyblade. It's one of the heaviest blades, and it has really good defense.
I mean, they made it a circle. What do you expect?
That's true. This is probably the best stamina blade in all of Beyblade X so far, and it's been the best. I think this came out at the beginning of the year, beginning of 2024. It's the end of 2024,
and it's still
really the best. It's still really good. And not only that, it comes with a fairly good ratchet. Comes with 570, just like 360. This guy has fairly round edges for a ratchet, so it won't burst too often, and the 70 height is not bad, although I do prefer the 60 height. And then the final part is this part right here. What do you think about this?
It looks pretty weird, like all the UX bits.
Yeah, this is, what is this? Disc ball, I think is what it's called. It's pretty bad. The disc ball is pretty bad. I remember when this came out, everyone thought it was gonna be like some amazing bit because it has this disc around it, so it's gonna have amazing life after death.
But that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Like when you get, people thought like when you would be destabilized, you would use the disc and you would get restabilized.
No.
That's just not how this works, and that's just because to add the disc, they had to make this guy like 2-3 millimeters taller than a normal bit. So even compared to like tall bits, high bits, I think this is the tallest bit there is. And Beyblade X, you don't want to be tall because that just means you're gonna fall over.
Yeah, tall is not good.
Tall is not good, so.
All right, what are we rating this one?
This Beyblade, I think this is a must-have Beyblade. This is a must-buy Beyblade. If you want to destroy your friends or if you want to go to a competitive tournament, you need a Wizard Rod. Or I think this is called Wand Wizard and Hasbro.
Definitely worth a spot in your deck.
Definitely worth a spot in your deck. I think it's gotta be a 9 out of 10.
I gotta give it A 9 out of 10.
It's a 9 out of 10.
It's really good value. I mean, you get a really good blade.
This is probably the Beyblade you should buy to destroy your friends with.
Yeah, if you want to beat your friends, buy this Bay. It's not a 10 out of 10 because it's not amazing stock combo, but it's a really good blade regardless.
It's really good.
If you already have a Bay, you can use those parts.
Yeah,
so.
I won't give it a 10 out of 10 because from the competitive sense, yeah, maybe it's a 10 out of 10, but it's kind of lame to use a wizard rod. You just kind of launch it, it goes to the center.
I mean, if I was choosing between a Drain Buster and a wizard rod, I'd choose Drain Buster. It's more fun.
Next Beyblade product. This one's pretty standard. It is a string launcher. We're gonna go through this fast. You guys know what a string launcher is. This
Let's see how long it is, though.
Is the white string launcher. It's just as long as normal string launchers. You can see that right there.
I do like the color.
I do like the color. I will say the launchers that do come in these packets tend to be worse than the launchers that come with Beyblades. So instead of buying this, I would probably just buy a Phoenix Wing. Go to Target, buy a Phoenix Wing from Target, or what are they called? Soar Phoenix?
Yeah, Soar Phoenix.
And that's
the launcher's probably better. It's cheaper.
The launcher's probably better and it's cheaper, so I probably would not buy this. I'm gonna give this like a... I mean, if you don't have a string launcher, sure, but just buy Phoenix Wing. You get a really good Beyblade and you get a string launcher compared to just getting a spring launcher that's probably a worse mold.
What are we giving this product?
Probably like a 3 out of 10 or something. It's still good. It's still string launcher.
It's still string launcher. I think I'll give it a 4 because it's a string launcher.
I do prefer string launchers over ripcord launchers. More control.
Oh, yeah, I prefer string launchers.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, and our next product, BX30, and is that 31? 29. BX30 and BX29. Here we have the custom grips. Now, I'm actually really excited to unbox these because I don't have these yet.
Yeah, we don't have these.
And I'm always looking for more grips. So.
These are nice to have.
These are so nice. So they're basically just normal Beyblade X grips, but they have their own color scheme. This is like a Spriggan kind of color scheme. This is kind of like a Valkyrie kind of color scheme.
I don't know. It's more of a Longinus.
It's more of a Longinus. Anyway, if you don't have grips, I definitely recommend buying them. They make launching so much easier. And
yeah, they help your fingers a lot.
They help your fingers a lot. And these are definitely way more stylish than the normal black grips. So for that, this is... you don't really need.
You don't need them, but they're really helpful.
They're really helpful. They're really fun. And as a kid, I always wanted a grip, but Hasbro didn't sell them.
They didn't sell them.
And I was very upset.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, those guys in the anime,
I'm like, how'd they get that? Where'd they get that from?
I know.
All right, I'm rating the grips an 8.
An 8.
I'm rating this one an 8. This one's a 7 because I like the colors on that one better.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a grip, these are probably it's a pretty good buy.
Like this is a really nice buy to have.
It's a really nice
buy.
buy.
It's kind of like almost an essential.
Yeah, if you have some extra money, I'd probably buy a Beyblade before a grip, but
it depends. If I have like 3 Beyblades, I think I'd go with the grip.
Yeah. It's hard to rank these because we're comparing them to Beyblades. So compared to a Beyblade, it's probably a 5. I'd probably buy a Beyblade over a grip.
Okay, that's where we stand.
Yeah,
this leads to more Beyblade launches, which leads to more practice, which leads to doing better in tournaments, which leads to more fun. Because winning is fun.
Okay, there you go. You got what are you, 8 out of 10 for your grip?
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for yours, 7 out of 10 for the one I got.
You'd rather buy this red grip than a Drain Buster.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we have, what is this? UX04. So this actually came out, I think it came out maybe it came out a month after the original UX base came out, which kind of sucks because this has the best 2 UX Beyblades inside of it. It doesn't have Hell's Hammer, so you're not going to get that Hexabit, but you will get...
I'm derailing him. I'll stop.
You will get a Wizard Rod, which is really good, and a Drain Buster, which is really good competitively as well. Not only that, you get a stadium. I have to say, this is, at the time of this video, all Beyblades released 2023, 2024. This is probably the best stadium set you can buy.
I think this is the best product you can buy.
This is probably the best product you can buy. It is rather expensive, but if you can chill out that money, you get the stadium, which is a really good stadium. You get 2 really good Beyblades as well.
And if your friend doesn't want to buy a Beyblade, you can get this set and you guys both can have one.
Yeah, exactly. And and the Beyblades are both really good. I'm actually not going to unbox this. We're going to keep it sealed just because I have so many stadiums and I don't know where to store this. And we've already looked at both the Beyblades inside.
Yeah, so it's nothing really different.
Yeah, but I will say, probably the best stadium set you can buy. Me and give this a 10 out of 10.
I'm going to give this an actual 10 out of 10. This is the best product to buy from Beyblade X so far.
If you don't have a stadium yet, you gotta buy this product. 2 amazing Beyblades in the stadium. Like, come on. All right, let's move on to the next one. The ceiling hates us. Yeah. All right, anyway, next up we got VX31. This is Random Booster Volume 3 with the prize Beyblade Tyrano Beat.
Oh, I love Tyrano Beat.
And guys, look at this. All the other Beyblades in this set are pretty good as well. You got a Dran Dagger that you can only get in the 3-on-3 set. Also, House Chain you can only get in the 3-on-3 set. You have another Tyrano Beat and a Shark Edge, which was Random Booster Volume 1 prize Beyblade.
Yeah, that is a prize base, so that's insane value.
The only bad Beyblade, you can get a Rhino Horn. That's not so great.
Rhino Horn is not good.
But yeah, before we unbox it, because we don't know if we got the Tyrano Beat, I will say the Tyrano Beat blade is actually really good. It is one of the best attack type blades in the whole entire meta right now.
It is the best.
Honestly, it might be the best. It might be. It's definitely up there. Why do you say it's the best?
Because it looks cool.
I was about to say, like... Anyway, so it's really good because it's pretty heavy and the attack points are pretty good as well, but it's also fairly round in certain parts, so it's able to outspin most other attack combos.
And I'm also fairly round in certain parts.
What? Anyway, let's open up this random booster. Honestly, I think this random booster is pretty good. It has some pretty good blades, some pretty good parts. And if you can get the Tyrano Beat prize Beyblade, you're pretty much set.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can get it.
Let's see if we can get it. Take this out. Please be Tyrano Beats. 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay, not Tyrano Beat, but a really cool black Shark Edge.
And that is a prize bay from the first set.
This is a prize bay from the first set, and Shark Edge is actually another
so
really good...
So are we ranking Shark Edge? Or are we ranking Tyrano Beat? Or are we ranking the value of the random booster?
Let's rank the value of the random booster. I will say Shark Edge is actually a pretty good attack type as well. Probably not as good as Tyrano Beat. It hits harder, but it's kind of like a watered down version of Grand Buster. It kind of loses stamina in the first half.
The stock combo's not good.
The stock combo's pretty good.
Oh.
Of Shark Edge? Yeah, 360 low flat, that's a really good combo.
It's kind of like Grand Buster, where it's like, you know, you get like 3 good hits, and then you kind of peter out.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, it comes with, I think this is 170. So 170, fairly good ratchet, not terrible. And then our bits for Shark Edge. It comes with Quake.
That's really bad.
It is a really bad
That
bit.
might be the worst bit.
You don't buy Random Booster Volume 3 for
Quake.
The new bit that comes with it. Quake is pretty bad. You actually just buy for the blades.
Rating the whole thing.
Most of the bays you can get out of this are pretty good. And Tyrano Beat is a really good Beyblade if you do get it. If I were to rate the blade itself, it's probably like a A-tier blade. I'm gonna give this random booster just a 6 out of 10. I can't really give above a 6 out of 10 when it's random.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because like you have a chance of getting Quake, and if you're getting one Beyblade and you got Quake, you'll never win against any of your friends. So it's really not worth it. Like it's like a 50-50 chance you're gonna get something good or not.
Yeah, but Quake's fun.
It's fun.
If you have
but
another
if that was the only bit I could use against my friends for like a year,
I'd be so cooked.
I'd be so mad.
I'd be so cooked.
I'd be so mad.
Alright, anyways, 6 out of 10 for this guy, but Tyrano Beat, if you do pull it, really competitive blade. Okay, on to probably the worst release of 2024. Here we have Shinobi Shadow.
Which is a shame because it's such a cool concept.
It is a cool concept. This comes in a random select, just like Sphinx Cow. The select bays honestly have not been so good so far. But let's open this guy up. Okay, starting with the blade. Oh, we got the black recolor again. Okay, so here we have the black recolor of Shinobi Shadow. Now, this blade is just not that great. It's fairly light. It has kind of like a weird shape. It is smooth, so it's decent at deflecting attacks, but it kind of just gets thrown around the stadium.
There is no reason to use it over Wizard Rod.
Yeah, if you have a Wizard Rod, you're never going to use a Shinobi Shadow.
Literally no reason.
There's no point in using it. Yeah, I would not buy this, guys. Probably a 3 out of 10. I would skip this one.
I would do it same as Sphinx Cow. 2.
2?
2 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, the random selects have just not been that great.
Not that great. Not that good at all.
I probably don't recommend buying this. 2 out of 10. Oh, okay. Next up, we have the wide stadium. So honestly, if you don't have a normal stadium, I'd probably recommend buying a normal stadium first before you buy the wide stadium. This guy is a lot less competitive, and I mean, if you have a lot of friends that you can Beyblade battle with, you can definitely do more Beyblades in here. More battles in here. So in that case, I would get it, but I definitely get a normal stadium first. We actually don't even have a wide stadium, just because there's only 2 of us. So we don't need a wide stadium.
There's no need for it.
There's no need for it. Yeah, it's an additional buy. If you have a lot of friends and you want to Beyblade battle like multiple times at once at like a birthday party or something, I guess it's a good buy. I'm gonna give it like
an option.
Like a 4 out of 10.
I'm gonna give this is a 3 out of 10 for me. I never find myself wanting to do this. Even at a party, I'd rather just do like 2 stadiums, 2 on 2.
Yeah, 2 on 2?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just buy a normal stadium, guys.
We got Weiss Tiger.
All right, Weiss Tiger, the Balanced Beyblade owned by, what was it? Pendragon.
Team Pendragon.
Team Pendragon.
That was a long time ago.
Anyway, Weiss Tiger, pretty cool Beyblade. It is actually based on the Plastic Gen Beyblade Rudder.
Just like the all Team Pendragon, it's all based on Plastic Gen base.
Yeah, all Team Pendragon is based on Plastic Gen Beyblades, and this guy is based on the classic Weiss Tiger. Let's start with the blade. Here's a blade, Weiss Tiger. Now, what's really cool about this blade is that they actually tried to incorporate multiple things into it because it's a balanced Beyblade. You can see it has sharp edges, it has some upper attacks, it has some smash attacks, it also has some holes in it to absorb attacks. And because it just has so much, it's not good at anything. They try to do everything and it's just not good at everything.
But I will say,
at anything.
If you're getting one bay, it's pretty fun to use. It's a good stock combo.
Yeah, okay, so competitive use, it's not that fun, but the stock combo is actually fairly fun to use, and you can beat
It's kind of like Unicorn, you know? It's not like the best at anything, but it's still like above average when it just has a stock combo.
Yeah. I will say I probably prefer the Unicorn blade over the Weiss Tiger blade, but yeah, Weiss Tiger is pretty fun to use. And then it also comes with the 360 ratchet, one of the best ratchets in the game. We've talked about it before. And then it comes with this bit right here. This is the Unite bit. And Takeru Tomy actually messed up when printing this. If you look in the middle, the part that's supposed to stick out and cause the Beyblade to be more passive, it's actually not tall enough. So in the stadium, it doesn't even touch the stadium floor. So it's like, imagine the point bit without a point. It's just flat. So this is basically just a little rounder taper bit, which is, I guess that has its own niche. It's taper with a little more stamina. So I guess it's pretty fun to use. On the competitive side, I will say this blade and this Beyblade as a whole isn't terrible. It's just not amazing.
It's just okay.
It's just okay. But from the casual side, it's pretty fun to use. It's a fun blade to use.
It's fun.
I'm probably gonna give this guy a 5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. It's a little worse than Unicorn. If I was gonna choose between Unicorn and Weiss Tiger, I'd choose Unicorn.
I'd probably pick Unicorn too, but if you like Mr. Beast and tigers are your favorite, you gotta pick Weiss Tiger.
The Beast Beyblade.
The Beast Beyblade. Boom. Okay, here we have our first left spinning X Beyblade owned by this guy right here, Ryugu. So he's pretty cool. He is at the top of the X Tower. He's supposedly the best blader. And yeah, here we have his Beyblade Cobalt Dragoon, which is the upgrade of Cobalt Drake. But I think someone argued that Cobalt Drake is better.
And that argument was from me. Cobalt Jake is the best.
Cobalt Jake?
Cobalt Jake is the best.
Like I said before, this is at least when it came out, it was the only left spin Beyblade. Now we have El Drago.
El Drago, I don't know if that counts though.
Yeah, but this is the only way to get a left spinning launcher as of the end of 2024. So if you have a left spinning Beyblade like El Drago, you're gonna have to buy a Cobalt Dragoon to get
which
the left
puts value
launcher.
on it.
That kind of puts value on it, and it is.
And you can spin Hell Scythe with this. I mean, not Hell Scythe.
Hell's Hammer.
Hell's Hammer with this.
But yeah, I will say these launchers are actually fairly bad. They're prone to breaking. The left spinning launchers are prone to breaking.
Yeah, the left spin's not as good as the right spin that comes with like Phoenix Wing.
Yeah, exactly. So if you buy this, just be aware of that. Don't launch it as hard as you can. Maybe like cut a little strength, just because you're probably gonna break your launcher.
Which does weaken the value of the product, because I'm sure they're gonna make left spinning launchers that are stronger than this one.
They're probably gonna make a better mold of this, just because a lot of people are complaining. But we haven't gotten it yet, and it's been a while. Anyway, let's open this guy up. Here is the blade, Cobalt Dragoon.
Very pretty blade.
Very pretty blade. As you can tell, it's fairly round, and usually that's not that great for
an attack
type bays. But this guy is actually fairly good for the sole reason that it's left spinning. Because it's left spinning and because it's not like super attack shape, you can actually use it to spin steel, put on like a driver like elevates, and you can beat top tier combos. In fact, this is like one of the only combos to Wizard Rod.
It's the only left spinning Beyblade right now as of 2024. Well, besides El Drago. So that does put some value on it because like, you know, you can't really use any other left spins in tournament besides this and El Drago, but
its main value is being a left spin Beyblade, and because of that, it is a pretty good purchase so far until they make a better left spinning Beyblade. Anyway, the next part comes with, this part looks so crazy. This is 260. It is beautiful. I love the color scheme. It is absolutely booty. It's probably one of the worst ratchets in the game. As you can tell, the 2 points protrude out like crazy. So in the end, it bursts a lot. So I would probably never use that ratchet. And finally, it comes with, here is the Cyclone bit. Now this bit's actually, for some reason, like when it came out, it reminds me of Spiral.
Yeah, a lot like Spiral. I thought it was gonna be similar to Spiral.
I thought or like the Left Star from Metal Fight.
I don't know that one.
But I think it's the one that came on Medio El Drago.
Okay. Yeah, okay, now I know that one.
In the other series, it wasn't really that good, but in X, because of the Extreme line, this bit is actually fairly solid.
Yeah, because if you think about what Spiral does, it's like, it goes right towards the gears.
Yeah, it goes right towards the gears, it hits pretty hard, and surprisingly, it has pretty good stamina for an attack bit. It's actually able to go and do a couple X attacks before dying. So I will say the Cyclone bit is pretty good. Anyway, I'm gonna have to say, as of currently, this is probably a pretty good purchase. You get a really cool left spinning Beyblade. The stock combo itself is probably not that great. You're probably not gonna win that many battles, but you change that bit for something like Elevate, which we'll talk about later, and you're gonna be winning a lot of battles. I'm gonna give this guy competitively, I'm gonna give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
That's pretty generous. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Boom! We have the last member of Team Pendragon. Here we have Random Booster Volume 4 with the prize Beyblade, Black Shell.
Really cool Beyblade.
You think we're gonna pull Black Shell?
No, but I think he's a really cool Beyblade.
I think he's a really cool Beyblade too. Black Shell is a very cool Beyblade. Will we pull him? Probably not. Although, let's look at the other prize, the other bays. Okay. Oh, you get a blue Phoenix Wing, you get a Wizard Rod, a Unicorn Sting, another. Wait, this random booster is pretty good too.
This is the best random booster so far.
This is
in terms of value.
Yeah, this is like all the layers have been pretty good. Let's hope we can pull the Black Shell though. Do you think it's possible?
I mean, there's only like one bad blade in this thing, so.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, Viper Tail?
Of course.
3, 2, 1.
Oh!
We got the red Unicorn Sting!
That one's actually the coolest looking one in the set.
Dude, that looks so awesome.
That's the best Unicorn Sting.
I mean, we talked about Unicorn Sting before. Really good blade. Really
I feel
solid.
like we should talk about Black Shell.
We should talk about Black Shell?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Black Shell, I actually kind of like it. It's really fun to use. Its shape has so much recoil. So some people use it for attack combos and have some success. Some people just use it for defense combos. You come and hit it. You both bays go flying, got a 50-50 chance of winning. I actually really like it. It's a pretty good blade in my opinion.
It's fun to use.
It's fun to use. It's a very fun blade. And what does it come with? It comes with like 460, decent ratchet. 4 is probably one of the worst ratchets actually, probably not that great. And then the dot bit's probably one of the best defense bits. That's what I gotta say about it.
Oh, that is pretty.
That looks so nice. Oh, there we go. Here's a dot bit that we were talking about. So this is probably one of the better defense bits. I really like it. I would give it like a solid, probably like an A
this
or
is a pretty
B
good
tier.
combo.
Yeah, this is a pretty good combo. If you get this Beyblade right here, this might be worth it.
That is actually worth it. This is probably, I'm gonna have to rank this higher than the other random boosters.
I'm gonna give it like a 6.5 out of 10. This is probably the best random booster to buy if you're looking for competitive combos.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one also a 6.
Boom. Next up, we got UX06. Back to the UX Beyblades. Here is Leon Crest. Now this is the evolution to Leon Claw, and unlike other Beyblade series where for the most part when you evolve you stay the same type, for some reason Takara Tomy decided to make Leon and Phoenix change types going into the next series. But yeah, okay, here's the blade. What do you think about the blade?
I think the blade's okay.
Leon Crest.
I think it's okay. It's so weird shaped.
It is a very interesting blade. It's shaped like a hamburger. It has metal on the top, plastic on the bottom. The plastic actually does serve for fairly good defense. There's not as much recoil, so it's fairly good at defense. But because all the weight's on the top, it definitely tends to be off balance and tip over a lot. So not the best blade, but it's a decent blade. It has its own niche. This part right here, the ratchet, I think this is, what is this, 760 I think? Yeah, 760. This ratchet's actually fairly good. As you can tell, it's fairly round and it's a low height. So fairly good ratchet. Really good on certain combos.
And then I don't know why they chose the green for the bit.
Yeah, the green bit. We've talked about this before. Here's Gear Needle. Like we said before, Gear Needle,
It's Gear Needle.
Not the best. I will say, cool Beyblade to have. Stock combo, not really that great. Blades,
I say it's also not that fun.
Yeah, it's not that fun.
It's not that fun.
It's definitely not a must-buy unless you really want that
black
ratchet.
shell for like defense types, in my opinion.
I'm gonna have to give this guy like a. It's not that.
I think it's very boring. I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm gonna give it like a 4 too.
It's just boring.
You don't need to buy this Beyblade,
like,
guys.
just
You can skip
it.
this Beyblade release. And on the same day, we got UX07 with Phoenix Rudder. Now, it doesn't come with Phoenix Rudder. This is actually a 3-on-3 set, so that is pretty interesting. And mine's like totally open. Like, I got it and it's totally open. But let's just open it up again real quick. So first off, I'm not even gonna unbox it. Here is the Wyvern Gale combo. It's Wyvern Gale. I think this is 280 spike. Terrible combo. Every single part is actually really bad.
If I was ranking this, I'd give it like a 1.
It looks cool, but every single part in that might be like the 3 worst parts, and they put it all on one Beyblade.
That's like a 1. I'll add all the scores up together and give the ranking for
that's
this
your
prize.
ranking.
That's
your
plus
ranking.
1. That's plus 1.
That's plus 1. This is Sphinx Cow 180.
Really bad.
Gear flat. Yeah, Sphinx Cow.
Really bad.
Not that great. 180, 160 is better, and gear flat, you should just use regular flat.
I'm also giving that one a 1.
You don't buy this set to get those Beyblades.
Yeah, so far
those
it's at 2 points.
Really, you buy it for this, and I will unbox this. Here we have Phoenix Rudder. Now this thing.
Such a cool. Phoenix is a really cool X Beyblade.
It is so.
This is the best Phoenix they've ever done in any series. You gotta admit though, Phoenix and X is where
Phoenix
it's at.
and X is sick, but I will say Phoenix Wing is better than Phoenix
Wing is
Rudder.
better, and it also has better value in its package.
This guy's not as heavy, really cool painted metal, and it does have plastic. It's kind of similar to Leon Claw, where the plastic does act as kind of like defense.
It is weird seeing Phoenix from going from 2 really fast base to this.
I know, back to stamina, like
back
burnt
to
fire blades, yeah.
But it does look pretty.
The blade's probably not that great for a stamina blade. Just use Wizard Rod. That's a problem. Like, you're always just gonna use Wizard Rod every chance you can get.
Yeah, every chance, yeah.
Now, as for the ratchet, this is 970. Pretty good ratchet. Probably the best 70 ratchet. I mean, probably the second best ratchet in the game after 960.
Is it that good?
It's that good.
Oh.
I mean, ratchets don't really make that much of a difference, but this one...
Yeah, out of all the parts, they make the least amount of difference.
Yeah, but this one, unless you have a ratchet that bursts all the time, then...
It makes a big difference.
That makes a big difference, but this one bursts the least. Anyway, finally, we have, this is the new bit. This is Glide.
I don't like it.
It has the palm plastic in the middle, which gives it less friction. It is an interesting bit.
I don't like it.
Just because it depends on the mold you get. So Takara didn't really do a good job printing these. Sometimes you get a glide bit where the ball sticks out a lot, and that's probably better. And sometimes you get a glide bit where the ball doesn't stick out at all.
And it's not even useful.
Yeah, it's only the orange is sticking out, so it's like a really fast bit. So it really depends on the mold. So sometimes you get a really good mold, which is actually fairly competitive, and sometimes you get a really bad mold.
Which is gonna have to bring down the value a lot of this bay.
Yeah, actually, it looks like the mold we have is not that bad. If you look at it, the white part is significantly over the orange. So our mold is pretty good. I will say, as a whole entire set,
don't buy this product.
Probably.
This is a definite skip.
Probably not great, just because the other two Beyblades are so bad.
A lot of money for like 2 bays you're never gonna use.
Yeah, I'd say Phoenix Rudder is pretty solid. That's a pretty solid Beyblade.
It's solid, but there's things that are more worth your money.
Yeah, as a whole, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10.
As a whole, I'm gonna give it probably because of the big price tag, a 2 out of 10.
Boom!
I thought it was gonna hit me.
Sorry.
I would have thrown it at you.
Next up, we have another random select. This is our 3rd random select of the year. They love
random
making random selects.
never hit hard for me.
I know, they're always, even the random boosters are better because they have better
the random
bays.
boosters are always better than select.
But anyway, random select, the first 2, Booty.
This is the best of all the selects this year.
This is the best random booster select.
Like, actually good.
Yeah, and that's because the other two, the special part that came with it, well, we got like Metal Needle, and then what was the other one? We got Gear Needle. Those two were really bad parts. This one comes with a bit Elevate, and Elevate is one of the most competitive parts in Beyblade X just because it's the part that has the most life after death. So that means when both bays stop spinning, it spins the smoothest, so it's usually able to outspin your opponent. That's why Cobalt Dragoon is pretty good, because you put it on Elevate. And not only that, the Whale Beyblade, actually let me just show you guys real quick. Hopefully get the prize Beyblade.
Yeah, I know, right? We haven't got the prize once yet.
I know, and I really want an Elevate. If we were to get the prize Beyblade on any Beyblade, I want it to be this one. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. No, we got the white whale.
Ooh, that's the worst one.
The whale blade is actually really heavy. It is one of the heaviest blades in Beyblade X. I guess it's fitting, it's a whale.
Yeah,
and
that's why.
Even though it's a balanced blade, if you look at that, look at this, look at the side.
You can use it as an attack type.
Yeah, it has super hard hitting contact points. So it's really good for attack type combos, although sometimes you never really know. It's a little unpredictable. It's kind of like Dream Buster in that way. I would say it's Dream Buster with
Dream Buster.
Yeah, it's Dream Buster with a little more stamina. So a really good blade. I can't give this thing lower than probably a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, if you really want the chance to pull Will Wave and get the Elevate bit, I'd
It's
say
also
this
just
is
a really cool bay.
It's a cool bay.
It's a cool bay to use.
Yeah, look at that. That's so sick. All right, let's move on. Boom. Okay, and here we have it. Probably the best X Beyblade stock combo to be released. Silver Wolf Common X's Master. Oh, I forgot. This one also comes with a launcher. Pretty good deal.
Silver Wolf, such a cool looking Beyblade.
Such a cool
One of the
looking
coolest
Beyblade.
designs aesthetically.
And what's really cool is around
The
this
free spinning.
Yeah, this time they actually started giving Beyblades gimmicks. So before they're kind of just like metal
Beyblade was the
pieces,
Beyblade.
just different shapes. Now they're giving them gimmicks. This guy has a free spinning ring.
Wyvern Galed.
Wyvern Gale, like Wyvern, yeah, like Tornado Wyvern. This guy, really round, and it might not have as much stamina as Wizard Rod, but the thing that's really cool about it is it's actually able to destabilize other Beyblades pretty well. So even though it's not going to be able to spin as long, it's actually able to destabilize Wizard Rod and therefore make it tip over and then outspin it. So it's kind of a Wizard Rod counter. Next up, it comes with 380. This is probably the worst part in this Beyblade. 380, not really that great, but it's still not that bad of a ratchet. You can probably still use it. And then finally, this is another really cool part. This is, I think this is called Free Ball. So it basically is the same thing as Ball, except it doesn't have kind of tabs right here. So the bit is actually free spinning.
Which, anything with the name free in it is gonna do pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I will say that probably normal ball is better. I would probably just use normal ball over free ball. But if you want 2 balls in your deck, because in a deck you can only use one of every part. If you want 2 combos with ball, here you go. This is basically a second ball, so that's pretty good. And overall, just the stock combo itself, amazing. Probably the best stock combo Beyblade.
You're always gonna win against your friends if you buy this one.
Yeah.
Oh, every time.
Yeah, probably. Unless your friend has Wizard Rod on competitive combo. or they have like left spinning Cobalt Dragoon on Elevate, then you might lose.
Unless they're a try-hard.
Unless they're a try-hard. But
if they're a sweat, you might not win.
Yeah, this is probably the best defense Beyblade. I'm gonna have to give this, even though it's stamina, it's used mainly on defense combos.
I'm gonna have to give this a 9 out of 10.
I think it's 9 out of 10. I think it's on
and
par
it comes with a launcher.
Wizard Rod, yeah. And it comes with a launcher. It might even be slightly better than Wizard Rod, like a bang for your buck.
But I won't give it a 10 out of 10 because there's definitely products that are better than it.
Okay, BX37, this is the double rail Beyblade set. It is a lot of fun to use. We're not going to unbox it because we already have one and they're just so big. But yeah, it's really fun to use. It's an electronic Beyblade set. The Beyblade comes with Savage Bear, Bear Savage. Not really that great. Probably a pretty dookie Beyblade. It's based on Rhino Horn.
Yeah, it's not good.
But I will say this is a really fun stadium set to have if you have a stadium. It's probably better than the 3-person stadium. I actually really like it. One downside, it is pretty noisy. But honestly, I like it. I'm gonna give it like a 5 out of 10.
That's a little high for me. For me, this is like, it's okay. It comes with 2 okay bays. And
it only comes with Savage.
Oh, okay. So it comes with 1 really bad bay. And I'd rather just use a regular stadium, so I'm gonna actually rank it pretty low. I'm gonna give it like a 3.
Oh dang! All right.
And it's a high price
Weren't you
tag.
supposed to be here for fun, like a casual fun blader?
Yeah, I'm talking about what's the most fun. Like if you're gonna buy one product and you're gonna bring it with your friends like to somewhere or to have a fun time, like why choose that? That's like too random to have fun with.
It's too random. Just bring a normal stadium.
Yeah, just bring a normal stadium. It's too random to have fun with.
All right, let's move on to the next product. Boom! UX09. Here we have Samurai Saber.
This is my least favorite Beyblade X.
Jake really doesn't like this guy.
I hate this Beyblade.
Okay, what's really cool about Samurai Saber is that it actually comes with a sword launcher. A katana launcher, I think is what they call it. The sword launcher is not like the other sword launcher we got on Burst. It just looks like they combined a normal launcher with the grip, which I guess is, I guess that's kind of cool.
That's
right?
really cool, yeah.
That's kind of cool. It's just like a normal launcher with a grip.
That's really cool,
grip.
actually. It's really cool.
And something else that's cool is that the ripcord that comes with it, this is supposed to be like the sheath of the sword. Mm-hmm. It's longer than the normal ripcord. Which is a plus. I definitely think the string launch is better. And unlike normal like launchers where, as you see, the normal ripcord launcher, you can only put it in sideways. You can't put it in on the top. This one actually goes in the top, so if you like that, like pulling out like that,
it's a different way to launching.
Yeah, this is the launcher for you. Although I have heard that some of them are kind of faulty and do break easily, so you have been warned.
Hopefully it's not this one.
Here is Samurai Saber. Jake doesn't like the design. He says it looks too much like the Hulk or Buzz Lightyear or something.
Barney. It was Barney.
It was Barney. It was Barney. Anyway, this one has a gimmick as well. As you see, it has 2 blades that move back and forth. Honestly, it doesn't really do that much in battle. It's just kind of cool to fidget with, like at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, the blade itself is pretty decent at attack. It's kind of like an ovular shape, so pretty good. As for the ratchet, it comes with 270. As we talked about before, 2's like the worst ratchet, so not that great. And then finally, it comes with this bit. This is the level bit, and as you see, it's extremely flat. It has 3 different designs on it, and because of that, it has really good attack power. It is the fastest bit in the game, and probably one of the best attack bits out. So overall, I think this Beyblade is, I mean, it's pretty solid.
It comes with a nice grip launcher.
It comes with a nice grip launcher. It's fun to use.
I think it's gonna be a probably 7 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I think there are better attack blades. The ratchet's pretty bad, and the best part is probably the bit. And level's probably the best bit. One of the best attack bits. So because of that, I'm gonna give it, yeah, 6 out of 10. Boom, here we got Crimson Garuda. Like we said before, Weiss Tiger was based on, it was based on Drigger. This guy is based on Dronzer from the Plastic Gen, except it's owned by a little girl and not someone cool like Kai. We have the blade. This is Garuda. It is pretty similar to Weiss Tiger, actually, pretty similar design and pretty similar use. It's just like a all-around blade. It's not good at anything, but it's not really bad at anything.
I hate this Beyblade.
But the ratchet's pretty cool. Here we have 460. It's a low ratchet, but 4 is one of the worst ratchets. It sticks out a lot, not that great. And then finally, we have the bit,
which is really weird looking.
This is really weird. This is trans point. And the gimmick to this Beyblade is that when it hits the extreme line, it can actually change heights because the bit shifts. So then it changes to, this is the high mode, and then it can shift down to the low mode. So it can change heights mid-battle. Honestly, this is probably a bad gimmick just because you usually always want to be lower. So changing to a higher height is probably bad. You could like nerf yourself mid-battle. Anyway, I'm gonna give this guy, this is definitely a skip. I think you can skip this one.
I think this is a skip. I think this is a 3 for me.
This is like a 4, yeah, like a 3 or 4. You can definitely skip Crimson Garuda. It's not even that cool of a design. It's not even that cool in the anime. You're not gonna miss out that much. I don't like the
face bolt at all.
Yeah.
The spirit guy.
All right, let's move on. So sadly, Jake had to go home, so I'm gonna be recording the rest of this video on the desk. Anyway, next up, we have UX10, the customized set with the Beyblade Night Mail. And I gotta say, before I even unbox this, this is probably one of the better Beyblade products you can buy in 2024. It just has amazing parts, and yeah, let's just get right into it. Oh my goodness, guys, that looks beautiful. So first off, let's go through the blades. This blade is absolutely gorgeous. Hell's Hammer, a blue recolor, and they actually fixed it. The old Hell's Hammer, you could actually use on a left spin launcher and make it left spin. They changed the mold, so you can't do that anymore. And although it's beautiful, Hell's Hammer isn't really the best Beyblade as we talked about before. But our next metal-coated Beyblade, Tyrano Beat, is. This thing is amazing. Super hard-hitting attack type, and it is a prize Beyblade, so this is a much easier way to get it, and it comes in an amazing red color. After that, we have Terra, and Terra is pretty cool because it was a Hasbro exclusive, so for Japanese people, this is the only way you can get it. And then finally, you have Night Mail, and the Night Mail blade is actually really good at attack, surprisingly. You look at it, it's supposed to be a defense type Beyblade, but its shape has so much recoil, it's really good on attack combos. Next up, we have the ratchets. This is the new ratchet. It's 385, the latest ratchet, and unlike most ratchets you see, it has a different locking mechanism, which honestly doesn't really make that much of a difference. I would say this is probably one of the worst ratchets just because it's really tall, and then also it is very light. Then after that, we have 170. 170 is a pretty good ratchet. And then finally, we have 770, another pretty good ratchet. And then ending it off, we have 6 bits. First off, we have a pretty bad bit. Here is Metal Needle. We talked about this before, but needle bits just aren't that good, and this one can actually damage your stadium because it's so sharp. Then we have Rubber Excel. This is a pretty rare and new part, although it's not really that great. It just doesn't have that great of stamina, and unlike other Beyblade series where it was hard for attack tips to go to the center, Beyblade X, they have that extreme line, so rubber tips aren't really all that useful. Next, we have the brand new bit in this set. This is Spike Bounce, and although it's not terrible, it's not that impressive. Let me show you why they call it Spike Bounce. It's because when you put it in, it actually kind of bounces like the Nothing Driver from Beyblade Burst. So honestly, this gimmick doesn't really do much, but the actual tip is fairly interesting. It has a point and kind of like a ring around it. It is a decent tip, but I wouldn't say it's all that great. But the next 3 bits in this set are actually amazing. They're all super competitive bits. First off, we have the ball bit, which is just a ball and is probably the best Beyblade X bit in the game right now. And next we have the Red Rush bit, and Rush might be the best attack type bit in the game just because it's able to get a lot of attacks in battle because it's not as aggressive, so it doesn't lose as much stamina, and it has smaller gears or less gears than most Beyblade X bits, so you're able to ride the extreme rail more. So definitely the best attack type bit in my opinion, and the fact you get this on the set's a pretty rare bit to get. I would say maybe even makes it worth it. And finally, we have a blue point bit, and this is probably the best balance type bit in the game. What makes this really cool is that it can do crazy hard attacks, but then against other attack types, it has that little tip in the middle, so it usually is able to outspin those attack types. So it's a very versatile bit, and overall, this set is really good. You get some decent ratchets, some amazing blades, and some awesome bits. So if you're trying to get into the Beyblade X competitive scene, I definitely recommend getting this set. I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. Now the next 2 Beyblades released in the last month of the year, December, so I actually haven't unboxed them yet, so I'm really excited. But first off, we have UX12 Random Booster Volume 5 with the prize Beyblade Ghost Circle, and this thing looks amazing. But I'm going to show you guys real quick. I know this is the prize bay. I bought just the prize bay from Days and Bricks, or they sent me just the prize bay, they told me. Anyway, its design looks amazing, but in reality, that looks really cool, but this thing is so tiny and so thin, and even though it's basically a perfect circle, which is the best shape for stamina Beyblades, it's so light, and it's actually not that great, and it gets hit around a lot. Not the best part in the world, but it does look really cool. I like that avatar in the middle, he's very spooky. Now again, because these Beyblades came out, well, last week, there's not that much competitive info on it, but I will be giving my take. Here we have, oh, this thing looks awesome. Okay, so this is the new ratchet. This is 080. Now, what's really cool about 080 is that it is a perfect circle. Now, that's what you want in your ratchet. You want your ratchet to have very smooth edges so it's not hit and your Beyblade doesn't burst. But something else to note about the 080 ratchet is if you look on the bottom, it actually has like these little claw things that go down. So I'm not so sure how good this ratchet's gonna be. It's probably gonna be fairly good against other defense type Beyblades, maybe attack type Beyblades, but any Beyblade that's able to reach lower than this ring right here might be able to catch on to this little claw and burst your Beyblade. And then finally, the bit is kind of disappointing. We have an orange gear ball bit, and gear ball is just not that great. So yeah, overall a really cool Beyblade. Again, there hasn't been too much testing with Ghost Circle. People say that the blade isn't that great, the ratchet needs more testing, and obviously the bit's not that great. So this is probably honestly one of the worst random boosters to release in this year. Not only that, the other Beyblades aren't really that good as well. We have Phoenix Feather, not the best attack type, Leon Claw, very light. It comes with Shinobi Shadow, and then Wyvern. Guys, I do not recommend buying this random booster. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this random booster like a 3 out of 10. But our last Beyblade of 2024 is an absolute monster, and I'm so excited to unbox it. Here we have Impact Drake UX11. Oh my goodness, this thing looks so cool. The evolution to Cobalt Drake and Cobalt Dragoon. Okay, so first off, it comes with a really cool black and red string launcher. String launchers are always great. In my opinion, they're better than the ripcord ones. And then you get the Beyblade, and oh my gosh, it's so heavy. You get the Beyblade Impact Drake. And Impact Drake, oh, it's so beautiful too. This thing is so chunky. So Impact Drake is not only the heaviest Beyblade X blade to release, it is also the first Beyblade X blade to feature rubber, which gives the Beyblade a lot of friction, which helps with attacks. Oh my goodness, and these rubber contact points are actually fairly big, so the rubber is going to be hitting a lot. So yeah, like I said before, Impact Drake, it's not only the heaviest, it also has rubber. It's a really good right spin attack type blade. It's not that attack shaped, as in you're not going to get that much recoil, but because it's so heavy, it makes it a top blade in the metagame. Next up, the ratchet is 960, and 960 is actually the best ratchet out right now. It has the best burst resistance, and it is the lowest. And then finally, we have Low Rush. Now, you know how before we were talking about the Red Rush and the custom set? This is basically the Rush bit, but better. It's the exact same thing, except it's a little smaller, so you're not going to be tilting as much, which is really good for attack. So overall, it has probably the best blade in the game, the best ratchet in the game, and the best attack bit in the game. I can't give this any less than a 10 out of 10, and it comes with a string launcher. Guys, if you're looking for a Beyblade to buy, you want a really strong attack type Beyblade, you can't go wrong with Impact Drake. This thing is crazy. And with that, that was me unboxing every Beyblade made in 2024. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, I want to give a huge shout out to Bays and Bricks. They're the one that made this possible. They sent me all of these Beyblades. And yeah, go check them out. Link in the description. Use code LeftBurst for 8% off your first order. And yeah, with that, again, thank you so much for watching. I'm excited for another year of Beyblade. If this is the Beyblade we were left off with in 2024, I can't imagine the Beyblades we're gonna get in 2025. So yeah, see you guys later. Have a nice day. LeftBurst out.